Hello everyone, it is Tracy, and I'm doing a response to Willow Wynn the Thrifty Witch, her Confessions of a Tarot Addict hashtag. And I took a day off of work so that I could reorganize my office tarot room and pull out some stuff and show you some piles as part of my Confessions of a Tarot Addict. I don't consider myself an addict because an addict is a really clinical term for, I don't quite know how to put this, but I have addicts in my life. I have alcoholics and in my family. So I don't throw around the word addict lightly. So, but I am a lover of tarot. I love tarot and I love collecting decks and I love using decks, and so I make no apologies whatsoever for my deck collection, and I'm going to show you a little bit of it, just head around the room. I did discover that I only have 5 decks that I have purely for the sake of collecting, and I am handheld, so I do apologize. This one JJ Swiss, Tarot of the Cloisters, this Tarot of Gemstones and Crystals. I don't know, I might use that one eventually, but I just, I'm a crystal lover. The Hoi Polloi Tarot and the James Bond Tarot. Those are the only decks I have that are purely for collector purposes, and they're not for collector purposes like I'm expecting to be able to sell them at some point in the future. They're just decks that I wanted to have because I wanted to have them in my collection. I might look at them occasionally, but it's unlikely that I'll actually read with them. All of the rest of my decks I do expect to read with at some point or another. And as I was doing my little, oh gosh, I have a whole mess of decks that I missed. Anyway, I've pulled them out in the hopes of reorganizing some of these decks and putting them into categories that make more sense so that I can find things more quickly when I'm looking for them. And like on this table, I have my collector decks and my decks that defy categorization and my Thoth deck. Over here is a pile with a bunch of Oracle decks that will have to be categorized once I get to the Oracle decks. Over here I have my historical reproductions. And in this little cabinet I have a bunch of decks that I haven't gone through yet, so I'm going to still have to go through those. Up here I've pulled out my nature and animal decks. Here I have solid workhorse decks and Rider-Waite-Smith clones. And, over here I have decks that look like they ought to be historical and pip decks and that sort of thing. I didn't pull out all of my decks. Some of my decks were in really good spots. So, like, I've got decks in this little cabinet that they're in a good spot. I'm not going to pull them out. And then I have decks in this dark little cabinet that are in a good spot. I know where they are and I'm not going to pull them out. At any rate. Oh, and there's a box. That box up there with the yellow in it, that's my collection of Rider-Waite-Smith yellow box vintage ones. And those, I will pull out a vintage Rider-Waite and read with it occasionally, but I'm keeping those as pristine as I possibly can. At any rate, I make no apologies for my love of tarot and my tarot collection. And I think that's really all I have to say right now. I'm so tired. I've been working on this all day and then forgot this cabinet over here. It's just, anyway. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for watching.